It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 735.
Happy Georgie Boys Hump Day Replay Day. How are we, Gronks? What's happening? What's going on? It's a bit of energy in the room, bit of nervous energy from Georgie Boys. It looks he looks a bit dishevelled each and every Wednesday.
How are you feeling, GB?
I mean, do you want the honest answer or?
Yeah, always honest. I mean, you
Absolutely.
are the guy that, as a brand value, is dishonest. For people who don't know, I asked George to put his values down on a whiteboard. He wrote honest, and then we were speaking for about an hour, and then he said, hey, I just thought, can we cross out honest? Which is sort of a weird thing to do. But anyway, yes, I want the honest answer, please.
It's funny though. Nah, look, feeling okay. It's I actually listened to Tommy, you guys, on the way to work this morning. I listened to Tommy talking about his day before he filmed with Craig Harper, and I was listening to that, kind of talking about creativity and putting it out there, and just to kind of pump myself up a bit because I was feeling a little bit low. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Like, putting stuff out there, so...
Did you call Craig? Is he in the video giving you a pump up?
Yeah, that would be so good. I would have given you his number.
He should have like a red phone that would, like the emergency number that we call. I could imagine it being a big fucking analog thing. He's probably already got one. Do you remember those big, the big telephones? Like, I remember my auntie and uncle had one that was like a legit old school, like crazy bell sound, and you like pick it up and it felt like it was from like the early...
It's beyond the sort of winding just sort of individual numbers. It's past that. Yeah, never had one. Had the windy one, like the...
Yeah.
Had to... What?
Did you?
You had to do like 9, 5, 9...
Terrible
and if you fuck...
Terrible for Josh, because 000 is so far away.
Yeah, very,
000.
very
No,
far
I think
away.
it would actually be because you just go to the end, GB, I think.
Yeah. Harps and I have been... Craig Harper and I have been on the textie this morning. Woke up from one at 6:24 a.m. from Craig Harper. And he said, this seems forever ago. And it was a promo. He must have just been looking through his camera roll in bed or having his morning coffee. Sent Josh the promo I made from an episode we did at his place. It was episode 80 of the Daily Talk Show. And it was
great.
a nice little reminiscent flashback. I'll post it up on our Instagram stories today. But it was nice to just...
Could it be a
I
tile?
just said, wow, I'm now old and worn out. It's it could be a tile. It's a nice little flashback, and I can sort of say Craig sent it to me. It's nice. But then it followed up with him sending me a screenshot of Spotify strikes podcast deal with Joe Rogan worth more than $100 million, which has been quite a bit point of conversation for a few Gronks today.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it's a big deal. It's
What does that mean?
I mean, it's an exclusivity licensing deal. So
so he's going to exclusively be on Spotify.
Yeah. So starting September
next year.
Wait. So September, is that when TJ? They're going to be switching. I can't remember the exact dates.
All his catalogue will be available on Spotify, which it's not at the moment. It's not even on Spotify from September, and then it said later in the year or next year from the start.
Everything will be gone.
It's exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusive to the platform, so they'll probably remove it from everywhere else.
It feels
huge.
It feels like it's getting closer to because I've been doing the whole deep dive on Disney and all the networks and stuff like that. Like, it does remind me a lot of the TV networks in the US, or even if you look at what happened with Howard Stern, who is a massive radio like shock jock in the US. He got that massive deal with Sirius XM, which is a satellite radio station. He gets nearly $100 million a year, and so I mean the US, it's big numbers.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a
good
time.
The megaphone
good time for
money
podcasting
is coming
good
in.
Thing.
Yeah. Has he got a megaphone?
Yeah. Joe Rogan, loser.
Yeah. We're keeping indie. I mean, real indie with our megaphone.
Yeah. If Spotify wanted our megaphone for 100 million, we wouldn't take it.
No.
1.2 or 102 million would take.
I'm actually looking forward to the day that we get comments where the guys have sold out. Like if we ever get to the point of sold out, it means that I probably can afford a house, and so it's a win. You know.
Finally, all this bullshit we go through to get the show out, like George, you know, the depression he goes through on a Wednesday morning just before the hump day. It'll be worth it then, George. It will be worth it then.
But also, like Spotify bought Gimlet as well. But I think if you were to so Anchor, which is like a podcasting app. What do you think is the better deal? Like, what do you think is like what excites you more? Do you think?
Definitely Joe Rogan.
Like
Joe Rogan.
I think it's a Joe Rogan. I think because Gimlet's got the people, so I feel like what they're buying with that is it's like, okay, you've got a network, you've got a team of people who can develop new shows, but they're not developing spin-off shows of Joe Rogan. It's just a brand play. They're just getting.
Dude,
his show.
I mean, he moves the needle. Ryan John sent me a message saying that Spotify's stock price has gone up 11% since the announcement of Joe Rogan signing.
They put on about $1.7 billion. Yeah.
I mean, it does. It makes you think about hype and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's It is
interesting.
Talking about hype, before we get to the Hump Day replay, I was wondering, what do we think about every episode at the beginning of the app? We say what episode number, it's episode 735, and then we say what day it is, the amount of days since Sevs has shaved, and we can get a bit of check, like a check to see how his beard's going.
Yeah, I don't
so
mind
what are we at now? What day is this?
What day is this? Well, so are we doing it since my announcement?
No, I don't think. I think since you shaved, I think it has to be.
I probably shaved last. This is probably a week.
Okay, we're at the 7-day mark. You can see it.
This is 7 days.
Definitely see it.
This is 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 7 days.
Yeah.
Because I've got my own little personal project around. It's 117 days until my birthday, I think it was. I started a 119-day project. It's sort of like all the things I want to do before I'm 30. It's a little Candy Hurts without I won't do it on the show.
30 things before you're 30.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's
but no, so I've got like a list in my Notion that I'm going through every night, ticking it off and making sure I'm doing stuff just so by the time I'm 30, I'm not depressed. So
what are a couple of things on the list?
So just like
just to give us a rough idea, like of
just basic stuff. Like I've got the 10,000 steps tick. I've got like just real basic things, and I've also started the fasting that you do. I'm doing the 18-hour. Is it 18 or 16? 18-hour fast.
You're doing 18 hours, yeah.
And so I finished eating yesterday at 3 p.m. and then I started eating at 9 a.m. And so actually,
how did that go?
It was fine, but did you guys have I know weather chat is very lowbrow or not high quality, but what about the fucking thunder and lightning last night?
Oh my God.
So
well, I didn't get to sleep till 12:30 because I almost missed getting yesterday's daily video out. Got it through at 11:50. But it didn't come without Instagram saying that I've taken the video down for copyright issues, which was bullshit because we pay for a license. And so I got it up, but I was just wired. You know, guys, when you've edited something and it was 3 hours that I'd just been locked into the machine and I was just going hard and my head hurt by the time I'd finished. And so, but then it was probably about 1 a.m. that the rain just started. Dude, that was so heavy. Ridiculously heavy. Yeah, wind.
But was
rain,
the lightning and thunder full on for you? Because like it was to the point where, like, I was worried for our safety. Bree's like, "Oh my God, I left it," because she'd been doing stuff with our plants. It's like, I left a metal bowl out in the on the balcony. I'm like, babe, the whole fucking balcony's made of metal. We're fucked. And
The
then
building
I
at the top will get hit before anything.
well, that's right. Like, isn't it so funny? It really shows how much we think that the world revolves around us. Because when there's a storm, you instantly think that it's going to hit. Like if it hit fucking over there in the CBD, you know where it's coming next.
My place.
Yeah,
my,
exactly.
my address.
Yeah.
I know a guy that got struck by lightning while surfing in Bali, and he the
Oh my
next day,
God.
like he's friend of a friend grabbed him, pulled him back in, resuscitated him, and then he was fine. The next day he shat out a black burnt poo. It was blood and it was-
really?
Plot twist.
Man,
Turns
so
out
lucky.
he'd just eaten licorice.
Nah, it was horrible. Horrible. Poor bugger.
But
Poor
I
bugger.
actually went and unplugged. Like, this is how panicked I was. I went and unplugged all of the computer gear because I thought that
Really?
if there was like a power surge, like if a
You'd
lightning
also search,
hit
yeah.
one of the power lines or whatever, it like sends that's what a power surge is, yeah? It sends the power back.
Yeah,
it
but
can
we've all
overload.
got surge breakers. It doesn't happen anymore. I'm pretty sure it's because the surge.
You also have
protection-
surge.
like
You also can get surge protection in your multi boxes.
But so how about
in the
this?
power board itself. Power board surge protectors. Like I think it's now. So back in the day, you could maybe get it at the socket level, but now it's like I could cut now with a pair of metal scissors through a metal cord and it would turn off before. Might get me a little bit,
Do you want
but
to test it?
it's like absolutely not.
No, but the-
Instantaneous. Like yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Like, I understand that it's definitely better, but my parents, their Sonos is fucked, and they were told they have to put a claim through the electricity company because basically there was
Really?
they know that there's a power surge, and then they're like, oh, so they can retrace the steps. The annoying thing is that Sonos that was given to me as a review unit when I used to
that's
review
right.
tech. And so there's no way, like I don't have a receipt or anything because it was just like a
So
freebie.
what's the question? Can a power surge ruin, appliances or computers? I'm just texting my brother who's an electrician. I don't know. He'll probably say there's more.
I mean,
it's
I
more
was-
complicated than just that.
Yeah. I mean, it reminded me. There's this story that I heard ages ago, and it's of this bloke who got struck by lightning, and suddenly became super talented at playing piano. Like his name's Tony. No, it's literally on Wikipedia.
I believe that's
Anthony-
how Pete Murray got started.
Maybe Caesarea or Kokoria potentially, but
Maybe
anyway,
the lightning
best known
could
for
hit you when you
acquiring.
could read. Maybe that,
Yeah, that'd be
would that be
good, wouldn't it?
amazing? All of a
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah. Not sound
That'd
like a
be
computer. Not
so
sound like
helpful.
Siri repeating what you
Literally.
just asked her.
Oh, hey Google.
that's annoying that you did that.
But yeah, it's yeah, but I mean that's ridiculous that happened.
Yeah, it's
Just
people
my
waking up
Google
from a
just
coma
activated.
and speaking Spanish or some shit.
Mhm.
Like you hear about
It's
it,
outrageous.
you don't want it to happen to you. But God, I want to be
I
able
want
to
to
speak
learn Spanish.
yeah.
What would
If
you
we
do
could
if you had
fast
to
track-
pick something? I feel like it would
Yeah.
be something real annoying for me. Like I'd be like, fuck, I remember everyone's birthdays or some shit that's not going to really help me.
This is the shitty superpower.
Yeah.
that you
What's
get.
what's the shittiest superpower? Knowing when
Like
the
you don't have
bus is
to wipe your
arriving.
ass. Yeah, something about not needing to wipe
That'd
your
actually
bum.
be
Like
alright.
it's the dumbest.
No, that's great.
It's very handy,
No,
but
that's
no
handy.
one else.
Yeah.
No one benefits other than you,
Mhm.
and it's a real sort of selfish power.
What about a superpower
It's,
knowing exactly how many people are at the MCG?
Yeah, I mean,
It's 0 at the
the
moment.
gate system does that. The gate, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
0. Yeah.
What about actually one superpower I realise that I have is that playing Monopoly, I can actually I know
Here we go.
where it's going to land before. So say if it's a 7, I'm like, boom, that's where it's going to go. And so it's like it's
Oh,
very good. Like
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty good
I
talent.
do
that's
that
easy.
as well.
That's easy. That's easy as though.
But that's just counting.
Because 10 is middle to middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about
Yeah,
like
so-
waking up with a
Sorry.
photographic memory? I'd love that.
Waking up with a
Love
photograph.
that.
What would it
Waking
look
up?
like?
So like waking up from a coma or whatever it
Yeah,
be.
sure. The waking
Lightning
up bit's not the
strike
important
and-
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you're like, phew, now I can just remember everything I read and, recite anything that I've previously seen. Yeah, I think that would be good. Have you ever met anyone with a picture, what is it, photographic memory?
Yeah, people say it, don't they? I don't know if it's like, I've got a photograph. Like, what does it mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sam, one of Sam's old mates, she had like photographic memory, but it was like, I mean, you go into this thing of like, man, I got to test this. And it's like, so what were you doing in prep on your first day, or just like real, like, what were you think? What were you doing when you were 4 years old? And she's able to answer.
The answer. You don't
Well,
know.
You
the
can
answer.
never
I mean-
fact check, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it's. I mean, I couldn't even think to what I'm doing at 4 years old.
Mm.
Yeah.
What's
was
your
actually doing
earliest
memory-
memory? TJ, what's your earliest memory?
Yeah, I don't know if their actual memories of that. Yeah,
Trauma.
It's too hard because I don't know. I'd have to look through the photo albums, but then I'm thinking I'm just seeing a photo that I'm thinking is my memory. But there's very old ones of being like, I reckon 3, 4. There's a lot from being 4 at home on holidays. Significant time down the beach, surfing. I said that when I went to down to Flinders the other week when we had the week off when Georgie Boy filled in, that I was walking down a path that I would have been down, on the beach many times as a child. And I had these moments. It was like a movie where it sort of just flashes you into that moment, and I felt it, and it was like childlike. It was great. It was
Is there any
triggering for the
royalty-free orchestral music playing during the during it? Or was it
Yeah, you got a copyright strike. You got taken down as mid-walk. But how about this? That video I put out last night. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's Georgie Boy's day.
No,
it was
please.
a kebab off with Hayden Dibb and Ryan John, where we went and found our favourite kebabs. Plot twist: my place wasn't a kebab joint; it was a shawarma joint. Anyway, the song I used in it, I was like, "Oh, this is great!" I downloaded it from our royalty-free subscription, and I was like, "This is." I think maybe Casey Neistat uses this, but fuck him, I'll use it. And then I posted the video, and Hayden Dibb calls me and he says, "Mate, you know that song that you used in our video? That's my podcast intro music."
classic?
I had no idea. I wouldn't have used it if I knew, but it was very funny. Very funny. So sorry, Hayden.
The main one that you used, like the real dancey one, was that it?
It was
Would you
one
change
whole.
it?
It was just bits of the track. I just used different segments of it throughout the whole edit. But
Yeah.
it was his. It's his podcast. It's his podcast.
Imagine when
music.
we're going to hear Almonte in the wild. Just
I'll be
some
pissed.
sort of.
Oh, yeah.
I will be pissed.
What could you imagine? What would it be a good ad for? Maybe sort of maybe some sort of poolside holiday. Maybe just like
I can't picture it in any other circumstance now.
No,
Sure.
because we started using it
wouldn't suit.
slightly comically. Like it was, this is funny. This is real up and about.
It's got like I could imagine maybe like Vegas casino. I could imagine like having the TV on at a hotel, or like
what about like
Hamilton
Luna Park
Island.
is back open.
Oh yeah, Luna
like a
Park.
theme park.
Yeah.
Come to SeaWorld.
Oh, yeah.
Swim with the
SeaWorld.
dolphins.
Oh yes, definitely swim with the dolphins. I could definitely imagine
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, dolphin. Just making noise. I mean, my video that I made of the O-Bike fishing, that song, I used many times in the O-Bike videos. McDonald's started using it,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
and I got in first. Yep. Macca's claimed it.
There's been a few of those. Like you definitely, I mean, there's a few subscription sites where you pay. So for people who don't know what we're talking about, when you use music, there's licensing involved, and so you never use like pop music or commercial music because you have to pay all these different licensing fees. It can cost like hundreds and thousands of dollars if you want to use it. Plus, then you're restricted with how you use it. Whereas there's
you
these
can
sites.
use it, you just can lose your video. It will literally be removed, and that is fucking annoying.
Yeah, and so
Like, it
yeah,
will
so
go
the
completely.
YouTube, Instagram, they all have methods now to know if it's copyrighted music, and so you'll get a strike, and it'll get taken down. And so the other thing too is if you're doing anything from a business perspective, you'd be crazy to use non-licensed music because you don't really own the content. If we made a video and had other music, we could, like, it's very little we can do with it from a commercial sense.
There's some artists that have made a shitload of money based on their song being used in someone else's video that then was monetized, but then the money gets diverted back to the artist. So then they pull all the ad revenue.
Well, there was is it Dirty John
sense.
or one of the podcasts? They used a sample from an old song, and that was through the courts for 2 years, and they just settled, I think, last week. Did you find that, Sebs? Is
Really?
it in an article?
Wow. I mean, it's a good challenge because then it's like, rather than using other clips of other people, you just make your own content. So you just create more yourself. It's a good challenge.
I was doing a job
in the early days.
I ain't going.
No, you go.
No, you go, man.
Oh,
Sure,
I was doing a job for someone, and they said, "Oh, can you use Fisher? Have you heard that song? Like, I'm losing it. It's on all the KFC ads and stuff. Real dancey."
No, but go on.
Yeah.
Fisher. Anyway, he's this Australian DJ, and it was an 8-second Facebook ad, and they're like, "Can you use this?" And I'm like, we can't use this. It's going to cost heaps." Like, I'll just ask. So we sent him an email asking how much it would cost. 24 grand for
$4,000.
8 seconds.
And how long? And then you're restricted. You're probably, that's like a 12-month like deal, and then you have to repay. Do you remember the terms?
No, it was more just, we were just asking just to show the client that it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Stop asking.
Good.
So
24 grand.
I tried to get Thirsty Merc
outrageous.
in my my Year 12 film, 20 Good Reasons. I wanted a scene, and I also had a big fight with Southern Cross Station because I wanted to. Southern Cross Station is a big train station in Melbourne. It's like independently owned, and
Is it?
I went to the station and met with the manager because he wanted to charge me $1,200 to film in there, even though I was like a high school student. And
did you? How did you broker the deal? I mean, you were pretty. You, as you pointed out in an old email thread that you posted on Facebook, Instagram yesterday, that you're still the same crazy.
Yeah.
How did you push it?
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, so I posted about the T2T. I've got T2T on Twitter, and which is a tea shop in Australia. And
you own the handle.
I owned the Twitter handle. And so I emailed. What do you think of the email? What's the bit that stood out to you?
I mean, it sounds like it was written by a young person. Like, it's all over the shop. Like, it goes back and forth. But there's a bunch there. There's almost too many points there.
And I also, Brie worked at More Cosmetics, so that's funny that I brought, like, here's a brand that's doing it well, because I'm pretty sure that I was helping her with that. But then I also gave tips. It was sort of a mix of, like, the funny thing is, when I wrote the email, I'm like, Brie, I think I'm going to be able to get some video work from this.
The first bit was so funny. The first bit was my favourite. First impressions, the shop looked great. Great design. Loved the packaging.
Maybe I got hit by lightning. Maybe that's my maybe that was my superpower. Weird email.
A healthy dose of delusion.
Yeah.
It's required
It's so
on
funny.
anything. Like, I think, what's that version now? It's us asking big brands to help us for shit that we're doing. It's like, what changes? Not other than sort of your track record of projects.
Well, being
there is
29,
still a version.
like being older, I feel like I could tweak a few things of that email, and it would be something I would definitely send. Did you ever send
it's
anything?
Just
like
about
that?
the email being sent. It's just about it's just about getting it done or making the phone call. It's like when we were over in America, 2012, great year. Got onto these winery people that just like got us free accommodation, took us in their limo. Like, it just required a phone call and an email, and we did something. But I did, like, the promise or the thing that we said we're going to do definitely didn't have the reward of how much they gave us. We did the thing, made a video, but it's you've got to ask. You can't just sit around not asking.
And that's what Sevs has missed
young.
out on, because I always say that, like, I set Sevs the challenge of sending 30 emails a day. This was going back in November. And I think part of it was because this is like I was living in the suburbs and I would just be like slamming emails to people, just talk, because I had no network. I didn't know anyone. So you just talk shit. Like the way that I got what part of the reason I got the FIFA and Jules job, I didn't really know anyone. The reason, like one of the things that caught their attention is I started sending Jules on Twitter Fiverr recommendations. I'm like, hey, there's this new service called Fiverr. I think you could do a bunch of content around it. Just like give. And the other thing too is it's like, Gary V's gotten popular now, but this is like this is essentially, imagine what the Gary V, like the hardcore Gary V followers, how we look at them. I was a bit like the Gary V follower, but like 10 years ago. And so it was very much about the like hustle, send the email, do the thing, like,
oh yeah,
be squeaky, squeaky, what is that? Squeaky wheel gets the oil.
And then if you got contacts, you can't just ask. Like you got to then come up with creative ideas. I was sending Sam Kavanagh like full blown written concepts to how I could integrate what my business at the time into Hamish and Andy. Like absolutely ridiculous. Now he said no politely, but I did that to Jules. Like I used to message it, mate, you're my mentor. Like I've read cringy emails, and so they were good people to know, but I definitely worked them in some creative way that just they were being so kind to not say you fucking lost it, mate.
That actually reminds me of Samir from Colin and Samir did something, like he talked about an old story just the other day, and it reminded me of like something that you would potentially do is he became he got a job as an extra on a show, and so he got to go to the lot, and his tactic was to walk really slowly from the car park through the lot because he thought that a producer would point out and be like, we need him. which is pretty funny, isn't it?
It is. No, but that was a thing, right? Like Dan McPherson, heartthrob, I think he was on Home and Away or Neighbours, one of those. Aussie actor, he's done quite well. He got pointed out by a casting director or somewhere at a exercise like a carnival or something, so it was a fitness carnival. But that's how he launched his career. So it was before the day. It was the ultimate. I'm waiting to be picked. Literally, finger pointing at you. You are the next. It's ridiculous.
Because I've never had that. Like the closest thing I would get is like, why is that guy so sweaty? Like that's what I would get. Did you ever think like, have you ever walked somewhere and being like, just based on your presence, you're like, here's an opportunity. This could be my moment.
Hoping, of course, hoping. Never happened. But I think that's because you hear about this shit happening. And so him thinking that that's a good idea, that's not original, right? That's a kid who grew up in Hollywood who hears about how, I'm sure there's a dozen stories of famous actors that were spotted as young kids that were like, they are talented, they need to be on the big screen. And
it was like you in Bondi when you first were in Sydney, like going to cafes or whatever and just sort of talking to who's the Deal or No Deal guy? Andrew O'Keefe.
Oh yeah, Andrew O'Keefe. Yeah. I mean, but that is also like, I have always plonked myself in situations or locations where I can then actively put that out there. So rather than waiting for it just to come to me, I would see someone, speak to them,
conversations.
Like have conversations. My heart's beating. I see what's his name, the old CEO of Channel 9, and I'm just like, I've got to go speak to him. And I didn't.
Ginjal?
But like that kind of shit. It's all Ginjal. Yeah, Ginjal.
I don't know if that's
Ginjal,
right.
Yeah. Ginge. Yeah, Ginge.
There is the comedian Kim
right
Ginjal,
now.
but that's not the same person.
No, not Luke Kidgel. This is
Luke
Ginjal. But yeah, so that's the approach. It's worth doing though. Like it's all.
Definitely.
It's all
I think that's the
nerve-wracking.
thing. Like you laugh at, like we can laugh at the email, we can laugh at these different approaches, but it's like, I think that's what that whole, like the conversation around confidence and gender and things like that. That's what people are talking about. It's like that's the outrageousness is, I think, something that we should embrace in everyone, because that's the thing that, like, if we didn't think, like, I think about the show, I look at like our numbers or whatever, I go through moments of like, I'm like, oh man, we're just like, we're so like far behind, or like we've got so far to go, or like the posture that we're arriving in this is like we're this big fucking show. But then it's like, it's the only way that you get, like, what's the other option? What other option do you have? And so I think that's like if I ever had kids, or if like just having young people around me, I think it's like encouraging that, like, send the email, do the thing. Yeah. You know, I think it's
the encouraging parent that tells their kid to give it a good crack. And I guess it's you can sometimes say it's a bit sad when you see the parents sort of, you know, with their kid in singing classes that they cannot sing, but their parents are. But then on the other side, it's like, it's great for their, like, you know, giving it a good crack. You don't want to tell people not to do shit. You may as well try it and see if stuff works. Yeah. And I mean, that's.
I think it was lucky. I think that I had like the lucky mix of my parents telling me that I was full of shit a lot of the time, but then being outrageous still. And so, like, I think that was a good mix, because it was like, okay, I realized what I was like, but if you can push through it. And it keeps you.
You know, knew you were full of shit, but they'd still drive you to anywhere you needed to go to do the thing, which is supportive.
It's a good mix. All right, so it's time for Georgie Boy's Hump Day Replay. Georgie Boy, please intro today's Hump Day Replay.
Speaking of just giving things a crack, this is definitely one of the weirdest ones we've done. But whatever, I'm giving it a crack, guys, so calm down. And today, I went to get Prosecco, but I needed something a little bit stronger, so I got Negroni.
Why is it in a jar?
A takeaway Negroni. Because it's from the bar up the road, but they're doing takeaways.
Okay.
That's amazing.
I was the first sale today, so that was a bit depressing. But anyway.
Supporting local. Good on you, mate.
Right, here we go.
It's Georgie Boy's Hump Day Replay. This week
was Megaphone Week.
With our new megaphone, we finally commercialised the show.
Come on, let's do this.
Listen, if you send $50, you get full naming rights to the megaphone.
Until someone else knocks off.
They have to
by 5?
auction it by 5.
We're rich.
And Tommy had an offer to any big spender.
The first person to donate $500, Tommy will create a video as part of his daily video project.
This led to a big week of announcements.
I will be removing coffee from my diet.
I am going to be getting up at 6 a.m.
I could definitely get into mushrooms right now.
Tonight on Lice TV, for copyright reasons. The major benefits of psychedelic mushrooms. Creative producers all around the world are turning to this phenomenon.
I understand that you've been using magic mushrooms to improve creativity and productivity.
The other day, people were telling you how to slow down, and you're like, I like the feeling.
It really is a core value of yours. It needs a lot more than Panadol at this point.
How has that been with your bosses, Josh and Tommy? Are they supportive?
Magic mushroom. I was talking about shiitake.
Our first megaphone sponsor was WhalePod Analytics.
WhalePodAnalytics.com is his. I just include that.
Man, I want it clean. What was it again?
Then it was Cam Van.
WhalePod Analytics.
No.
Sorry, Josh. Cam Van.
CAMV for Victoria. AN Cam Van.
Then Shine Hairdressing in Berwick.
A boutique salon using nothing but the best original and mineral colours and hair care.
Fordo wanted to get in on the action and booked out the first week of June.
How quickly can you get us $250 via PayPal?
35 minutes.
With the current sponsor, Kate Mead.
Check out her podcast, the Women of Influence podcast, and she also is the co-host at Ace Radio's morning breakfast show, The Morning Rush.
And now with all this extra cash, JJ subscribed to Masterclass.
This is second time round?
I didn't say that to Brie, but yes, I have had it once before. But they've got way more.
Oh, okay.
So, Georgie Boy, he has a masterclass on search engine optimization. It was so good.
Good SEO can be the difference between you being a sole trader for the rest of your life, which is fine, don't get me wrong, or having the 10th floor corner office looking over the city with 1,000 employees. I know which one I'd be picking. In this class, you'll not only learn about good SEO, but we will get to that, don't worry, but you'll learn about human connection. In a world where everything is online, how do we connect with other human beings in a meaningful way? I'm George Martin. Welcome to my masterclass.
You sound like the Yellow Pages sales guy that they called
I will buy whatever it is that you've got.
We didn't have any guests on this week, so I got some Gronks to run through some of Josh's icebreaker questions. Beach or pool?
Beach.
What's the last thing you sold?
Couch, and it was a pretty good deal. They got it for $50.
What's your favourite animal and why?
Love a lion. I don't know why.
What was the model of your first mobile phone?
Nokia 3315. I still have it too. It's signed by the living end.
Red wine or white wine?
Red.
What's one thing that you're proud of?
I'm proud of my kids.
Are you a saver or a spender?
Spender.
Opportunity or so beautiful?
Let's go with opportunity.
If you could be a pro athlete, what sport would you pick?
Basketball.
Winter or summer fashion?
Winter fashion all the way.
I had to change to my FaceTime camera because my battery just died.
All right. All good. All good.
That's it from me. I've been Dodgy George. Good night, Australia. Love you.
Oh, no.
That is my favourite one.
That was so good.
Are you
That's a
joking?
masterclass.
That was
Dude,
so fucking funny. Seriously, that was
Exactly
so
good.
good.
I don't know how you're finding the creativity. Like, it's layered and layered and
I was
layered.
buying you
Each
time. I would
week.
have spoken crap for 30 minutes before he played it. I would have played the first 5. The way you're selling it was going to be the worst thing ever. That
masterclass bit.
It was
Yeah, I
so
know.
fucking fun. Guys, watch the masterclass trailers to get a reference of how well
It's
he's matched the
identical.
masterclass.
Oh, it's
And
amazing.
you also you cut up my vocals to set, like the dialogue to sound like I said the masterclass. I never said that, did I? Or did I? Never said.
You never said that I did a masterclass, no.
Yeah, so you cut me up to say
Clearly.
it was fucking great.
It's so great.
That
It was
was-
so good.
Well,
I
thanks.
love it. That
Keep
was so
doubting,
good,
George. Keep doubting because you keep proving
it's-
yourself wrong every week. Every
I actually-
week.
The thing that I was listening to this morning was that, Josh, you were talking about when you do your photo project and like someone likes it or someone says it's their favourite one.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll just hold on to that. Maybe there's someone out there who likes it.
The Vice
Dude,
thing
I mean,
was so funny.
the two things for certain. Each week, George will be doubting himself, and each week you'll outdo yourself. It's fucking unbelievable, Georgie boy.
Oh.
So
It's
good,
so
mate.
amazing.
But man, how are you going to go with next
Negroni's
week
going
with
down
all
well.
of that praise?
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know.
All right, drink out of your jar.
Yeah, have a little
Have-
sip. I want to see. Let us know what you think of the Negroni, and then we've got an announcement to make.
It's delicious. Really good.
Describe
It's
the
strong.
flavours. Masterclass style.
Oh, it's. I think it's. I mean, Jem would know better than me, but it's Campari, sweet vermouth, and gin. I think.
What's
something like
what's
that.
the second one that you said? Sweet the
Sweet
moose is
vermouth?
what I heard. Say it again.
Sweet
What's
vermouth. Vermouth.
Vermouth.
I don't know. Just like a.
Okay.
Yeah, something. But it's strong.
Yeah,
So
very strong. Like that is one of the more sort of like real.
I think
sort
it's
of
the
hand
strongest
sanitizer
cocktail you
flavours.
can get because it's
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 so
just
strong.
alcohol. There's no other mixer.
Oh, you're gonna be
my
gonna be
God.
riding high after
12:40.
we send this bad boy out on WhatsApp and people are coming in thick and fast saying how good it is. You're just gonna be nude in the office.
I
want to
give Georgie boy.
Just
Georgie boy,
running
can
around.
you pick up the? I feel like you could manage the WhatsApp for a few days. I feel like you would be great on the message. You already say no, man. I've got so many. I asked everyone about the like I knew that the mugs are outrageous. So for people who aren't on the WhatsApp, there's a mug that I got at a coffee roaster. It's Supreme Coffee just in Abbotsford. They have a great mug. I bought it for $21. It's like real heavy. It's like a diner mug. It feels like I'm in America. It's fucking great. And I looked at the bottom and it has the brand or like the manufacturer where they got it from. And it was from a place in the US called like Westford, China, I think is what it's called. And so I got a quote. This was like, I got the quote like 6 months ago. And the quote came to be like $30 each delivered to us for 72 of them. And then we would have to send them out. And so I was asking on WhatsApp, I was wondering whether I'd cooked it or whether people would pay for it. I think people were highly offended that I thought that I think they thought it was a scam. I think they thought that was
Did anyone reply?
You can.
Yeah, I
What
got
did they
heaps
say?
of replies. I got to write back to everyone today. But I understand the I'm going to do a bunch of testing. I'm going to try and get a bunch of one like sort of single mugs that I can get from different companies to test it because I just don't want a shitty handle that falls off or like I want this to be the type of thing that like remember like radio stations you'd get a mug and then you'd look in like in some sort of workplace and they'll have like a Fox FM mug from 1991. Like I'd love for us to have like
they were all shitty mugs. They were all crappy style.
But don't you feel like in the 90s like
the thick? Yeah, I remember the mugs. We had them at home too, like Triple M Rocks or the double TFM stuff. I remember that shit. I mean, how about you send back to the people that were offended Jasna's video of her mug and say, would you buy this one? Or this? I mean, we could be on something. Jasna, we could make...
Jasna can do it for cheap.
We could go half-half.
that's
she
true.
could get them done.
To manage all the printing and design.
Yeah, that would be great.
Do you want to do the first announcement, TJ? Because you've got an announcement, and then after you announce that, I've got a semi-announcement / something to bring up that I wanted to run by you guys.
God, I don't know what my announcement is.
You just said.
Yeah, but I don't have the microphone because it's requiring. It's a megaphone.
Megaphone. We need the megaphone.
Okay, so sorry.
That was what.
Mate, we've got so much going on. First announcement. First announcement that's not on the megaphone.
Okay.
June 1, put it in the calendar. We are making the move back to the Daily Talk Show studio.
The COVID comeback. That's what we call it.
The COVID comeback.
The COVID comeback.
And so that's a Monday. And so on the weekend, we're going to have a working bee. We're going to set up all the cameras. So it's going to be a multi-camera situation. And we're going to have like
1.5 meters away.
Yeah, all of the... Exactly. And so we'll also have it so we can have remote guests. We'll have the screens and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of shit that we need to do in the meantime. That's the first announcement. There is something about the megaphone, but one thing I wanted to bring up that I had written down for a while that I had yet to bring up with the team. What do we think about the idea of doing a Gronk Games? Gronk Games. So this is some of the things I'm thinking. The longest golf drive, basketball free throws, mini golf. We basically, let's pick a bunch of, like, I don't want to get into this territory of just doing ones where it's like who can lift the most. That's not fun. Let's go into the quirky and do, like, maybe
Can we do
one of them.
fastest tennis serve?
Yes, tennis serve is
Get
great.
a speed gun.
Love that.
And so anyway, I thought that could be something in June that we could work to. We can't use the words Olympics. Olympics are very funny when it comes to licensing. It seems like the show for licensing.
Gronk Olympics.
Yeah,
Commonwealth.
Gronk Games.
Gronk Commonwealth
Games.
You got alliteration with Gronk Games. And so anyway, I thought it would be fun if you can email us. What's our new email, Mace?
Gronks@thedailytalkshow.com.
Gronks@thedailytalkshow.com. The reason we're using that is because it's easiest for us to manage with all the other shit. Here's actually 10 seconds of admin on that. 10 seconds of admin. Have you sent us an email before? Would love it if you did. What's on your mind? Just email us. Gronks@thedailytalkshow.com. Great. Okay. So the Gronk Games.
What are they saying? What are they saying on the email?
So what are some of the suggestions that we could do in regards to some of the competitions? So I think
could it be is one? Another one. Yeah, I guess they're fishing. Who can catch the fish first? It could
fish would be great.
It could be a whole day though. fishing,
Yeah, it could be quite long.
go-karting, that kind of shit.
Oh, go-karting's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love go-karting.
Do they have to be out and about, or can we do like fastest typer? You know, words per minute.
Oh,
I think that's a good
Yeah,
one.
It's a good one.
And so,
I was going to say no.
No, I was just thinking about it. Touch typing, close your eyes, like... Yeah.
I can touch type. I reckon I'd dominate you guys.
You impress me.
Actually, no, Mason. Mason's a fast typer.
No, I reckon
You are.
JJ would be the quickest typer, to be honest.
I actually just do...
Really?
I'm a one-finger guy.
What if we
you
did
serious?
fastest typer with cold hands? That'd be interesting.
It's weird, but we could.
Mate, you were asking for weird suggestions.
Yeah. What's the cold hand bit?
Because you slows down your typing, so you just got to push through.
Okay.
It's like a
I think
hand.
that's
What about,
almost
like,
too
hold-
quirky.
Holding your breath.
Yeah, why don't we do
Gronks
some...
are passing
what about
out left, right, and centre.
deep dive?
We could do.
deep
Oh, here we
underwater?
go. This is closing the loop. Let's do the ice bath because Josh, you reckon you could stay in
definitely.
there for
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
I'll
I've got access
definitely
to
do
one.
that.
Great.
Wait, 2 others? What's some others?
Kaz
Holding your breath underwater.
Yeah.
I'd be shit ass at that.
Yeah. It's quite dangerous too.
Oh,
Yeah,
we don't
email
do that.
Gronks.
Yeah.
It's Gronks or Gronk? Gronks at thedailytalkshow.com?
Gronks.
Can we get Gronk at thedailytalkshow.com just in case people fuck it
Just
up?
in case people... Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Gronks at thedailytalkshow.com. Please send us an email. Okay, so here is the megaphone announcement. Just going into today's Trello, just so I'm doing this
I'll just
correctly.
quickly set it up. Kate Mead, who has been the previous megaphone naming rights sponsor, kindly outbidded herself, but then gave the megaphone naming rights sponsorship over to someone of our choice. And now we're announcing who we've chosen as the megaphone naming rights sponsor.
Can I just say, first of all, last night when I went to turn everything off and unplug, I realised that I'd left the megaphone on.
Oh, no.
So if we have issues with batteries, it's because of that.
We need more sponsors.
The megaphone is brought to you by Gronk Lee Ryan at killyourfriends.co. George, show Kill Your Friends.
Yeah.
Kill Your Friends, a ruthless and unpredictable adult card game that combines shedding, matching, and knockout style gameplay. Go to killyourfriends.co. Thank you.
Mate, well done. Thank you, Kate Mead, giving Gronk Lee, he's put his heart and soul into creating that card game. Very relevant at the moment.
He's
people are
actually
getting into card
funded it
games.
all himself.
And he
did all the funding
he
himself.
even very different to our sponsorship, but he offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. We don't, but
absolutely
Lee
not.
does.
And the other great thing, he sent us a lovely letter going back. This was like 6 months ago when he started through this whole process, and he's tried a bunch of different ways. He did like a crowdfunding thing. He's been very innovative with the whole thing. And anyway, I thought, it's perfect as well with ISO and stuff. Seems like a great game. He's actually works at Quadlock. He's a product designer. So anyway,
yeah,
it was
very
an interesting
creative.
fact for you.
Good one.
And a Gronk
And
listens
he
to the show
actually-
all the time, and he's been a supporter of ours. So appreciate you, Lee.
We haven't told him that this is happening, so this is going to be hopefully
He'll find out about it.
he's listening. Yeah, he definitely will. He also gets tomorrow as well. So anyone, if you want to, you could pay $130 to get the new naming rights, but you won't get it until Friday, based on Josh giving it the extra day last week. What happened?
What are you laughing at, George? What's funny?
I don't know. You just all of a sudden sounded so sincere with how good the deal was. You can pay $130. It is a good deal.
You got to
send money.
Is it not a good deal? You think it's not a good deal?
No, it is. It is. It's a great deal.
Well,
Where else?
said-
What else
how-
would you
how-
sell? Like, what's the equivalent of? Like, what would you do? You You could spend money on the trading post. You could spend money on Facebook ads, or you could do.
Well, Josh. No, I know what you could spend your money
Can
on.
you settle down?
Yeah, I know.
GronkSquad.com.
You're very up and about. What is this?
GronkSquad.com. We've still got a few leftover pieces of merch that you can spend your money on.
Oh yeah, great.
Well,
that was good. This is Sevs falls into this. So I FaceTime him a little bit. Like I'll have him on the screen or whatever, and he reacts to things but won't explain what's happening. So he'll go, "Oh no, oh no, oh fuck, what am I going to do?" I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh," and then it takes him like. It's annoying. It's like 2 minutes of that shit.
She's hooking you in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's
why
a great hook.
have you
You're like,
always
oh my
done
God,
this,
what's
Sebs?
happened?
Yeah, well, I think it's the initial overreaction, but it's also like I react and then I'm trying to figure out all the information and why it happened before I convey it to you.
Mm. It's very annoying
That's the
because you
otherwise-
go into worst case scenario stuff. It's like, well, it's the same. The annoying thing is, it's the reaction he gave when he deleted our whole website and fucked our whole hosting. And we had to contact Venture IP, and that's when we got Venture IP as a sponsor, was because you were managing our hosting with another company, and you're like, oh no, and so anyway, you're very vocal,
mate. I love it because I slightly emotionally removed from that, and I love watching you, Josh, and Mason. Just the difference in the. You're just like, well, you fucked it, Mason. You have absolutely ruined everything, and now you need to fix it. It's quite like father-like. Just fix
Well, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't think I yell. I'm just like, well, this is going to be a hard week for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Will you go into like, so what do we do now? And that's some of the reason why I'm still reacting, because I don't know what the next step is. And so I'm just, if I lay out what's happened, you're going to be like, so what do we do now? And I was like, well, mate, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. If you got us here, you can get us out of here.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do. It's great. Anyway, hope will that website update itself, Sevs, or do you need to update that? Megaphone.
As in
thedailytalkshow.com
Megaphone 9.
/megaphone.
Did you think it would update
that will be
itself?
updated.
Well, but you're as delusional as fucking he is. You think the website just updates itself based on what the shit that we say?
Just a bit of AI. Rory's got it sorted.
Yeah.
No. I definitely didn't think it. It was a sort of push.
I'll have to.
You
I'll
think
have to
that
update it
the
after
camera
the episode.
switches itself too? You didn't realize I'm pressing these.
It doesn't? Isn't it not
I'm
who's
pressing the
speaking?
button. Yeah, no, I've got to press
What?
it.
Anyway, love it. Love it.
10 seconds of admin. Take a screen grab right now of you listening to the show, post it on Instagram as a story, and we'll regram it. What a deal.
Great deal.
Alrighty, guys.
Great deal. Even better deal, $130 to take out the naming rights sponsor. I'll leave you with that, and I love you.
Get the final bit of merch, gronksquad.com. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a good one.
See you guys.